Yeah. As it's being passed around, it's a
Thank you.
tweet from Alex Thompson at Axios summarizing, pulled a couple quotes of an interview you did on MSNBC, and one of the quotes says, "When I deal with him, he is sharp," him being President Biden, and he is asking tough questions. Do you recall this interview specifically?
I do.
I mean, you said that you met him personally maybe a handful of times. Are those the interactions that you were discussing when you say I deal with him?
Yes.
So this statement, the basis for this statement was your interactions somewhere between 1 and 5 times.
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that's a bit misleading?
I think it was pretty direct and honest, and said that when I do deal with him, he's sharp, and he was asking incisive questions during my meetings with him.
But you dealt with him 5 times in 24 months. That's not exactly a large scope of knowledge on how he interacts with staff.
Yeah, I mean, I can only speak from my experience. I'm happy to share about my experience in the White House and my role and my job, and then participate in this interview about that. I can speak to my own experience with him, and that reflects my experience with him.
You don't think it's missing some context?
I don't.
Do you think that statement suggests that you deal with him more than you did?
I don't think so. I mean, I spoke about my own interactions with him.
Okay. Do you believe President Biden was in mental or cognitive decline while acting as President of the United States?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Did you notice signs of President Biden aging while he was in the White House?
Well, he was certainly an older man, and yes, time does not stop, and so I definitely noticed him aging, like most presidents have before him.
What did you notice?
Just that he was getting older. I mean,
stiffer gait. Did you notice a stiffer gait?
I didn't associate, that with a specific causation. Obviously, I know that there's media coverage around that as an issue. He was getting older. He was an older person anyway. And so, I'm not a medical professional to assess sort of how those things may interact with aging.
Did you notice him misremembering words more often?
I didn't. I mean, my own personal experience with him, like I mentioned in the meetings that I had with him, he seemed very well prepared on the issues that we were discussing. He asked tough questions of us, thoughtful questions of the circumstances. I had no reason to think that he was anything other than capable of being the president and executing his duties.
What were the interactions that you had with him? You said a couple meetings. What were the topics of those meetings, if you can remember?
Sure. I had a meeting with him with some other colleagues about a congressional interview with his son, Hunter Biden. I had a meeting with him about the public testimony before this committee, I believe it was, with Special Counsel Robert Hur.
Judiciary.
A Judiciary Committee, sorry. About Special Counsel Robert Hur and his public testimony. I had a meeting with him about, which I believe is around the time of this exhibit that you put in front of me, about the Supreme Court's immunity decision that came down, and his speech about that to the nation. Generally speaking, those are the issues that I recall meeting with him about.
All right.